drop one of these bad boys down. Get more. 53. 3. Hey, what's up guys? It's the Kribus, doing a video on Rosaria. So, in this video, we're talking about 5 tips, tricks, and interesting things about this character from Genshin Impact. And to start off, I wanted to showcase 56,000 damage, or around 56,000 damage that I can do with the charge attacks in the latest Contending Tides event, as well as the number 1 tip will be at the very end of this event. So let's get into it. So we're gonna do Shock Me, I Dare You. So in this event it says defeating opponents with charge attacks, you will obtain stacks of a buff that increases the damage dealt by charge attacks. You will eventually reach a maximum number of stacks, and then defeating an opponent will unleash a powerful shockwave. That last part's not really important, but we're gonna do a ton of damage with our charge attacks. We're gonna do max difficulty as always. And we're just going to start spamming charge attacks, which we already do a really good amount of damage with charge attacks because of our physical damage build that we have. So we're running a 4-piece set of Bloodstained Chivalry, so that we can basically spam this without using any stamina the whole entire time. 36,000. Oops. 40,000. 8,000. Come on, let's go higher. 38,000. Or 42. 6. Oh, 46. Alright, so drop one of these bad boys down. Get more. 53. 3. You know, if we were running Super Condo, I could probably hit even harder, right? About 53. Okay, I hit 56 at one point earlier. I'm not sure how I managed to do that, but yeah, still pretty good, right? 53, super fun. Honestly, this whole event is super fun. Like, it's super crazy. We're just doing like insane amounts of damage here. So once we kill these enemies, we're gonna leave the guy on the pillar for tip number 1. If I can showcase that. Make sure I don't die here. Spam him a couple times. I'll hit him with a good charge attack here. Yep. All right. So talking about the E ability here. So we're actually able to knock down enemies from their pillars, which I typically have to use like an archer or a Zhongli or someone with like a big AoE attack. But Rosaria's E ability seems to have some height to the slashing part of her attack. I don't know where this guy's trying to hit me from. So if we use it here, see, I actually always hit the guy up top. Very cool, really useful ability, and I think later as more enemy types come out, that might even be more and more useful, because we'll be able to, you know, knock other enemies off of their pedestals. So number 2, using her charge attacks in an optimal way. So if we're building her with Bloodstained, and building her on a physical damage build, which I think is what you should be doing, and I talk about that in my You're Building Rosaria Wrong video, which there'll be a link in the description below, as well as at the end of this video. But using her charge attacks, you want to wait for the animation of her left foot to stop, so that you can actually essentially just use this ability non-stop. And you can also add in movement, so you basically have to do it at the exact same time, which makes it a little trickier, but obviously what helps us in Genshin Impact is the auto-aiming, which is so wonderful. Just kidding, not all the time, it's pretty awful most of the time. But yeah, so you want to wait for that left foot. You can see her left foot here. Wrong button. Left foot. This foot. That's her left. You didn't know. You want to wait for that foot, and then you can basically continue the charge. Because otherwise what happens is you have a little bit of a delay and you're going to lose a little bit of DPS. You might also get hit. Because what happens is you click, and then if you're trying to click to charge while she's finishing the animation, like, it's not going to happen. And you're basically just going to be button mashing, which obviously you can do if you want to. But I think being able to play basically more precisely is going to give you better DPS. Obviously we don't have lots of endgame stuff for this to really matter that much, but I think it's interesting to note that you want to wait for left foot. And diving into the build itself, which is also kind of part of this, because we're talking about these charge attacks. You want to use the full Bloodstain set for the physical damage, as well as the Force Piece set to get that charge attack damage. Use a physical damage bonus goblet, obviously. I have some pretty solid stats. And then her talents, I used a crown, so what you're seeing right now is max stats. I'll be showcasing some damage, and we're hitting about 270 charge attack damage, which is the highest multiplier on a polearm user for charge attacks. So just keep that in mind as well. It's a lot higher than Zhao. Zhao is like 210%. So yeah, she has really good charge attacks, and I think people should be building around that. We're using Deathmatch as our weapon. Weapon doesn't matter too much, it's not super crucial. Obviously use what you like. I use this because it looks aesthetically pleasing, and it has a really good crit rate, and I want her crit rate to be really high. So looking at that, we have our max HP is 21.5 thousand, her attack is 2200, and her defense is 750. We have no elemental mastery because we don't care about that for our physical build. We have 50.7% crit rate, and then with the cryo bonus we go up to about 65%, right? As long as they're hit with the cryo attack. Crit damage 186.8% crit damage, and 128% energy recharge, and then obviously 83.3% physical damage bonus. Thinking about number 3 on our list, I'm going to show you basically something that I think is really interesting. So if you have Venti, but you don't have Zhao, or maybe you do have Zhao, but you don't want to play Zhao, you can actually take Rosaria and Venti, and because her physical damage is really good, you can basically make a Zhao who doesn't take damage, and it's spammable over and over and over again. Don't have to wait for energy recharge. So, to showcase this, we're going to use Venti's E, right? We're going to go boom, slam, turn to Rosaria, and then we're just going to keep slamming. You know, basically just turn into a Zhao. And what's really notable here is that polearm users have a really large AoE when they do their slams. At least in my opinion, it seems like they have a really good AoE compared to some of the you know, other weapons. And once the wind current's over, you can just use it again. Like, you can just keep going. So anyway, to showcase that, let's do the same. Shock me, I dare you. Just pop this. Slam. Switch characters. We're doing 15k. Super Conduct could probably do even more. But basically we just like do mini Zhao attacks over and over and over again forever. And then if it ends, we just do it again. Slam. I keep trying to switch characters too fast. We do it again, and we just basically do this over and over again. And you just like never die, and you just kill everything, just like Zhao. And yeah, I don't know, I thought that was really funny. I just like was doing that at one point yesterday, and I was like, wow, this is hilarious. So for number 4, guys, we're going to the beaches, because I think it's easiest to show this. So we're talking about her E ability, and just a few reasons why I don't think you should build her for cryo, as well as just how this E ability works. So if you want to know around how far you can go, without getting to too many details, you can go about 4 steps. So 4 steps in the sand, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go about that far with her E ability. That's how far you'll hit. Her polearm will hit around that distance. So maybe 3 meters a step, so about 12 meters. Give or take a little bit, depending on how aim assist works in this game. So just keeping that in mind, I think that's really important to understand when you're using her ability. It does work like Genshin, but there is a limit to how far you can go. The other thing is, in my mind, when I was thinking about building her for cryo, I assumed that her ability would be able to put you behind Metachurls, like the guys with the big giant shields, or the stone shields, or the ice shields. You know, there's all these different shields that those guys have, and I thought that was going to be kind of her purpose, right? Was to get behind those, but those are actually too large. So when I was looking at her ability and it said some large enemies you can't get behind, I was thinking like boss battles, right? But no, Metachurls you can't get behind, which means you can't really use her E to like efficiently do that cryo damage. So I think physical damage is the way to go. On top of that, even the small guys, even the hilly churls, I find myself like fighting the shielded enemies, and occasionally they block like immediately. Like I get behind them, I hit them with the stab, but then when I'm doing the slash damage, which does the most damage, right? You do like 2,000 with the first thing and like 6,000 with the next hit, or at least with my build. And I'll just block it, completely block it, and then I do nothing. So it almost seems like it's, for me, it's more of a positional move, and it's more of a add cryo to that enemy, or knock enemies off pedestals. It's more of a utility ability for me in order to get that extra crit rate, you know? And I think that that's how people should be using it, so I guess this is more of a tip. So number 4 is a tip. For example, this guy up here has a shield. I'll kind of show you what I mean. It's a bit of RNG, but sometimes they'll just completely block. So like, I'll get his attention first, because it seems like they have to have their attention first. See, only the first attack landed, second one he blocked completely. He just 180'd on me and blocked it. See, again, I actually didn't even hit him at all. So these enemies have like really intense ability to 180, which kind of seems like the point of getting behind them is kind of useless. Because, so right there, that time it worked. So you can see there's like a bit of RNG. When it works and it's great, right? But you'd think that the whole point would be always to get it behind these shielded enemies. But I think it's more of a get to the enemy fast kind of ability. Apply the cryo for the crit rate. And, you know, like move in and move out really fast. Play like a ninja. I don't think it's really that useful against these shielded enemies. Because of that, I think physical build is smarter play. So, that leads me into number 5. Number 5 is kind of just a random one. I didn't have too much time to really think of something else, so this is just me giving you a tip as what I think the optimal combo is. And I think it's using her E, setting up the cryo, and doing a charge attack right off the bat. And you basically just insta-kill a lot of the small guys, at least at end game like me, if you have a build that's similar. This basically always kills them for the most part. So that's kind of my combo. It's very fast and very snappy. It feels really good. It's just, you know, boom, E, and then charge. You also gain quite a bit of distance, which is really nice. So you get basically 12 meters per both abilities, I think. Or close to that. So you get to travel, you know, about 20 meters or something. I don't know exactly how distance is measured in this game, but that's what I'm assuming. Maybe 20 meters. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. If you want to see that video that I mentioned earlier, it'll be in the description below, as well as at the end. There'll be a little link for it. Don't forget to hit the bell icon, subscribe, like, comment, all the things. Appreciate it. Really helps me out. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.